Hey Patreon! I'm here today to answer some of your questions, so let's do it. All right, the first question is from Faye, and she said, if you could speak any language in the world fluently, what would it be? I would definitely speak Portuguese, which kind of surprised me because I feel like growing up I always thought like French or Italian, but when I went to Portugal and I heard people speaking Portuguese, I was like, this is the most beautiful language I've ever heard. So I would love to speak it, and specifically like the way they do in Portugal. I love that. Okay, how would you define happiness? From Regina. Oh man, I probably should have thought about that one before this Q&A. How would I define happiness? I would say happiness is, well, first of all, I differentiate between happiness and joy. This is something I learned from my priest at my old church. He always described joy as like a lasting thing. Like people who are joyful can be happy no matter what the circumstances. Whereas happiness is more of like a fleeting thing that comes and goes. And I believe that true joy comes from being close with God and serving God and just living a life of purpose. So I would say that's probably my definition of happiness, but more in the true sense of the word. Okay, do you drink? From Katie. No, I don't drink. I've never drank in my life. It was something that I decided I didn't want to do for really personal reasons when I was like a teenager. So never drank, and I plan on never drinking. From Tiffany, ideal night out. I don't really like going out, but I really like bringing people together that I love. And some of my favorite memories are having dinner parties and having a bunch of my friends over and cooking for them. So that's probably my favorite. Like if it's like my ideal night, it would be my friends, my family, and Max, my fiance. And we would just all be together, and then I would cook for everyone. And then other people would bring food too, and it would just be like tons of food. Okay, what are some traits of a healthy relationship from Amelia? That's really deep too. Okay, a short, quick answer for that. I would say number one is respect. Treating the person with respect, respecting their boundaries, just like realizing where the line is and not crossing that line. And I feel like that's different for every person. And then I would say number two is that you guys bring out the best in each other, but you also don't like swallow each other. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't become the other person. There's like a sense of I am me and you are you, and we're two different people, but we love each other, we support each other. That's just like some quick stuff off the top of my head, but I feel like I could make like an hour-long video on that. Okay, favorite thing to have for breakfast, from Danielle. Oh, this is hard because I feel like I've been struggling with breakfast lately. I was thinking about that today. Like, I've been having a hard time finding breakfast that I really enjoy eating for a long period of time. But I guess if I'm like going out for breakfast, then I would get like, I love like bacon, eggs, a biscuit, fruit, coffee, orange juice, just like the whole 9 yards, all that stuff. Okay, Charles. Oh my gosh. Okay, how do you connect with God? From Meg. Okay, I connect with God in a lot of different ways, but I would say the best way is just by talking to him every single day, sharing about my day, sharing my hopes and fears, asking him for what he wants for my life and trying to listen to his voice. I think that's the best way of connecting. And then as a Catholic, I love connecting through going to Mass and receiving the Eucharist and going to adoration. Like, those things are incredible, and I'm so grateful to be Charles, to be a Catholic and to have those amazing things available basically every single day, which is awesome. Okay, last question is from Meka, and she says, how do you deal with perfectionism during writing? Wow, that's a really good question. I don't really know that I've struggled with this as much as I know a lot of people do. I know a lot of people have a hard time with like feeling perfect or like struggling with wanting to be perfect and judging their writing. But for me, I think writing has always been more of a safe place, and I didn't really think about other people judging it that much. I just was like, I'm gonna write this because I want to, and it's not for anyone else. So I would say the best piece of advice I ever got, I think it was from Anne Lamott in her book on writing, but I could be wrong on that, is never let the audience into the room with you when you're writing, or when you're creating. It's like make the piece of art for yourself and maybe for the person that it's about, but don't think about other people, the audience, so to speak, because then it just twists it and makes it more watered down. So stay true to yourself with your work and try really hard not to think about other people when you're creating, and keep it authentic to you. All right, that's all the questions that I have. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Wow, I just dropped my phone. Hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A, and I'll see you guys on Patreon. Bye.